everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Fucking fix this camera angle. That's better. Today we're going to talk... Fucking still not right. God damn it. Today we're going to talk about antidepressants and weight gain. This is a very common thing that a lot of people don't know about. And it's an issue. It's a big issue. I have someone who's a good friend of mine who went through a period of his life when he was depressed. He wasn't feeling very good. He went to the doctor, got diagnosed with depression. Excuse me. And the doctor put him on antidepressant. He proceeded to gain 10 pounds a month, not doing anything differently, until he had gained 40 pounds on his frame. He's a big guy, so, 40 pounds was he could carry it, but it was 40 pounds of fat, not 40 pounds of weight, water weight, muscle, 40 pounds of fat. Hey, bro. What are we doing down there? Making a video? Attaboy. So, he, before I met him, he tried everything he could to get the weight off. Nothing came out. He could not drop a single fucking pound. Couldn't figure out what was going on. Did, keto diets, did, high carb diets, low carb diets, did cardio, hired people, hired nutritionists, went back to the doctor. The doctor was like, do more exercise, eat less. And he was like, Doc, I've done everything down to 1,200, and he was 260, to 1,200 calories doing a fucking hour and a half of cardio a day plus weight training. And I haven't dropped a single fucking pound. Now, anything, I drop 4 pounds when I take a shit. You know what I mean? So if you're not dropping weight when you're doing that and at that big, something's going on. It's not like, it's metabolic damage. He didn't do shit to get it. It wasn't like he sucked himself down and ate a whole bunch of food. He didn't fuck himself up. The medication fucked him up. And he didn't, he correlated the time that it started to happen with the onset when he started taking the drugs. Drugs meaning the antidepressants he was prescribed by his doctor, not illegal drugs. And he figured, there's really nothing I can do about it. So we met, and he explained to me that, I've been trying to drop weight, but we didn't talk about the antidepressants. So I started helping him, and, there were different diets we tried, different training programs, cardio, nothing was working. I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. Until he mentioned it to me one day and was like, hey, I took this antidepressant, this is what it is. And nothing's been the same since. So I took the name of the antidepressant, did some research. Google's a wonderful thing. It found out that it causes weight gain. That's the one thing people bitch about the most, is weight gain. So now, I'm like, okay, this is the cause of it, but how do you fucking reverse it? Everybody in the forums that I was reading and in the different things about this drug couldn't drop the weight, no matter what they did. They were seeing professionals, some were having their stomach stapled. Nothing was working. All right, now I start looking into it more, and there are other antidepressants do the same shit. The same exact thing. You gain weight at an accelerated rate. There's a celebrity right now, I thought he was just getting fucking fat, but as he came out talking about his depression, because he was always in decent shape, all of a sudden he gets fat. It's the drugs they're taking. So if you're on something right now that has caused you to gain weight, even if you stop cold turkey or, wean off of it, taper off, it's not going to change anything. You're still going to have that weight. Interesting story. A couple years ago, I went to Mexico with Kari, and I have someone who was training. And she was getting ready for her wedding. And she was having some anxiety issues or whatever it was. And she went to the doctor. The doctor's like, well, we're going to treat you with this antidepressant, blah, 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 blah. So I'm in Mexico. I get the text. And yes, I answered the text in Mexico. I had my phone on. I spent a shitload of money that year because I didn't know how much it was going to actually be in the end. And she says, this is what the doctor's going to give me. So I look it up, and lo and behold, it's one of those drugs. And I said straight out, I said, if you take this, realize this is going to happen. Okay, your wedding's in 6 months. You will not be able to pull that weight off. It's not going to happen. Okay? She said, yeah, I know, I Googled it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go back to the doctor and tell him I want something else because I can't take this. Well, she goes back to the doctor, and the doctor got pissed because she was questioning him and told her, if you don't take that, you can't have anything. Flat out. This is her doctor. She said, I'm worried about side effects. And he's like, fuck you? Dude, I would have walked out of that doctor's office, reported him to the fucking medical board, and went to another one. Just based on the attitude that you don't want to take a medication because you found out the side effects were more than you want to handle. That's not right. That's unethical to the core. But you get those doctors that are not really willing to play ball, and they get kickbacks from the company, so they're going to prescribe these things no matter what the side effects are. So she eventually didn't wind up taking anything, and she was okay. But she knew, if I take this, this is probably going to happen. I'm going to be fucked. And I'm reading about all these other people, and everybody's fucked. And they're exercising and doing everything the right way, hiring people to help them. Shit, you should be able to drop 5 pounds if you hire a trainer and follow what they tell you to do. Shit, even if they put you on 3 hours of cardio a day, you should be able to drop 5 pounds in a week. Nothing was happening. So I started looking a little more into what was happening. And told this guy, I said, you know what, go get a thyroid test done. And I said T3 specific, not this, thyroid stimulating hormone, overall thyroid, T3 specific. What's interesting is none of the labs would test his T3. Even if he asked for it specifically, they're like, why, do you have a thyroid problem? He's like, I don't fucking know. And they're like, well, you don't look like you have a thyroid problem, because he still carries the weight well. So still, it's 60 pounds of fat on a 6'5", 6'2", 6'3" frame. I mean, he doesn't want to be, he wants to be lean. So it's not healthy for him to be with that much body fat either. So after all that, I said, you know what, fuck it. You should go to, when you go out in your travels, because he travels a lot, get a thing of Cytomel from the pharmacy in one of these other countries. Start taking T3. Because now what I found out was there is actually an enzyme that converts T4 to T3. T3 is responsible for the metabolism, more or less. Now, these antidepressants can kill that enzyme off that converts T4 to T3. So your body keeps making all this T4, and then yes, your overall thyroid is where it should be, and your thyroid stimulating hormone is working, but your T3 is almost non-existent. So now he supplements with T3. Lo and behold, he dropped that 40, 50 pounds like that. The whole key the whole time was the fact that his thyroid was being fucked up by a medication that he took and couldn't convert T4 to T3 to stimulate his metabolism, period. And even after he was off the drugs, that's what was going on. So, he figured out, what was affecting him, but the doctors were no help. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't even look into it. It took, our research of trying to figure out what's going on, and you know what? It was fucking bro science that figured it out, because science was like, well, just take him an exercise. They didn't have a fucking clue, and they weren't helping this guy one fucking bit. Now imagine you're depressed, and then you gain 60 pounds on top of it and feel like shit. How the fuck is that helping your depression? It's not. And you go back to the doctor, and he's like, just work out more. The doctor was a fat ass who didn't work out himself. What the fuck does he know about it? He knows what the drug companies tell him about it, but he didn't know what the real side effects were in real life, or if he did, he didn't fucking care. Or maybe some other people don't care if they gain 60 pounds. Maybe they hadn't been eating because they were so depressed. They popped these antidepressants. They gained 30 pounds. Like, oh, finally I'm back to a healthy weight. And the doctor's like, yay me, I did it. I did something good. Where you got these other people like this guy who, was fucking miserable because he couldn't drop the weight. It just, it boggles my mind. I use that word a lot, boggles. It boggles my fucking mind how little the medical community knows or even gives a shit sometimes about their patients. It's not right. It's unethical and it's bullshit. I wish that, more doctors would be like, hey, you know what? There's something going on. Let me look into this. But you're too busy at your practice trying to make as much money as you can in a short amount of time that you don't want to deal with it. Meanwhile, you got people that are living unhealthy lifestyles because why? They got fucked up with a drug that you gave them because they came to you for help. So be aware, these drugs do have side effects that are permanent unless you figure out what it is that's going on with you. And you probably have to do it yourself because the doctor ain't going to help. And, it's your choice. It's your choice whether to take a drug or not. Just because a doctor says you have to take it doesn't mean you have to take it. It doesn't mean you have to go back to that doctor. Second opinions, third opinions, all the way. Biowestertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biowestertraining.com is the blog, and where the antidepressant weight gain bicep, no more, and we're out.